Marriage is something that is a natural event in the course of our events in life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the human being with a shahwa. And this shahwa is in every single human being. This passion, this desire for the other gender. If this desire is not there, we'd say this person is not normal. They are strange. So the norm in the human being is for them, male, female, to have this desire. However, this desire is to be controlled. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the believing men and women to lower their gaze. Why lower their gaze if there's no shahwa? It means Allah ta'ala himself is telling us that there's a shahwa, there's a desire. So therefore lower the gaze. Why does Allah order that the women cover their bodies with their garments over their chests? Because there is a shahwa. From both sides there is shahwa. When someone asked Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, what is the best thing for a woman? Fatima al-Zahra says, أَن لَا تَرَى رَجُلْ وَلَا يَرَاهَا رَجُلْ, is that she doesn't see a man and a man not see her. She says this is the best thing for a woman. Hishma, modesty, shyness. The Prophet ﷺ was known for his modesty. They used to say that he was more modest than the virgin girl in the middle of her room in the house. Because the Arabs used to, once a girl would reach the age of puberty, then she would have a particular part of the house that would not be exposed to the external walls. And she would continue to remain there and not mix with the foreign people much, or perhaps at all. So they say Rasulullah ﷺ's modesty was even more severe and stronger than that. So marriage has come in order to, to allow this desire that is natural in every human being to be fulfilled in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permits it and has legalized it, such that it is controlled and it does not go out of control. As for when a person is ready, as soon as a person reaches the age of puberty, then he starts to, or she starts to have this desire, although it may manifest in different ways, whether male or female. So that desire is there. But how do I know that I'm able to then take that next step? If you're a young man and you find yourself that you're doing 360-degree scans in the streets and the shopping centers whenever you walk out of your house, then you know that something is wrong. Something is going haywire and needs to be brought into check. And this can be brought into check in a couple of ways. The first is to try fasting. If you fast and you find that after a certain amount of time and you're doing it regularly, this is taming the desire. Because when you're fasting, what happens is you're no longer feeding the nafs. Feeding the nafs food and drink. Because the nafs thrives on this. If you don't give it food and drink, if you see someone that's hungry, do you think they'll get angry quickly? No, usually they shouldn't. Some people do. But you don't have the energy to get angry quickly. You couldn't be bothered to get angry quickly. You don't have the coal in the fire to burn. So when you prevent the food and drink from reaching the body and the nafs, it weakens it a little. So likewise with this particular desire for the other gender. So if you find that that works, and then you can continue on doing whatever else you need to do, whether it is work, study, continue living, and there's no other reasons for marriage to be a priority in life, then you continue. For instance, if you're a person that's involved in talab al-ilm, seeking knowledge, beneficial knowledge, full-time, and you find that marriage is going to distract you from this, then no, better to continue doing what you're doing. When you finish, then you get married. If you find that fasting is not working and that the only solution is for you to get married, then you need to ensure that if, as a man, that you have the ability to fulfill the rights of your wife. The ability to fulfill the rights of your wife both financially and spiritually, physically. Financially, you have to spend on her. You have to provide her with her clothing. You have to provide her with a house. You have to provide her with food. You have to be able to offer this for her. Otherwise, to get married and you've got $0 and you start living in the cave. In Nottingham you got so many caves. You say, no, Allah didn't order this. In fact, you'd be then called a zalim, you're an oppressor, because you're taking this lady, oh, mashallah, she's living beautiful life in the house of her father, everything coming on a silver platter, and then she comes to your house, have to live like a zahid. No, doesn't have to live like a zahid. You live like a zahid. But you have to allow her to live like the rest of the women in her society, her aunts, her cousins, people in her family. How do they live? You should be able to offer similar type of lifestyle for her. You should be able to understand. You should not be rash, quick to get angry. Someone who is not going to take into account the feelings of another person, particularly the closest person that is going to be to you in your life, your wife. So you have to be able to take into account these things. If you can, if you think you can spend on her and you're going to be able to understand her and you're not going to oppress her, fulfill her rights, then this is a time now when you can start to seriously think about getting married and ensure that you do it under the supervision of good, mature, wise adults. They're called mum and dad. Don't go and try and do something behind their back. I've seen this girl, I'll find out from my friends, her friend. Be wise and don't do something that you're going to regret, because your parents 99.9% of the time have your best interests at heart. Sometimes there will be cultural barriers, particularly when we live in a Western society. I'm from Pakistani, she's Indonesian, she's Lebanese, she's this or that, and these cultural barriers sometimes are going to be placed in front of us. This is able to be overcome. But main thing is not to rush, not to be rash, to think things through, and to ensure that you take into account the future consequences from the decisions that you're going to make. And we say that entering marriage, it's like entering a company, and there are 5 stakeholders or 5 shareholders that you have to be able to please in this company. Otherwise, they are going to kick you out from the board of directors. Who are these shareholders? The first is Allah. So you see, is this a lady that magnifies Allah and His Sharia and really tries to do that which is pleasing to Him in everything of her actions, her thoughts, her intentions, her clothing, her future desires in life? Second stakeholder is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this applies to both for men and women. So I give example for men, I give example for women. So she'll ask, is this man someone who loves Rasulullah? Does he follow the sunnah of Rasulullah? Does he have the akhlaq of Rasulullah? Does he make much salah on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Does he want to go visit Medina, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Right? And so the first stakeholder is Allah. The second stakeholder is Rasulullah. The third stakeholder are your parents, mum and dad. Would they be happy having this as their daughter-in-law? Him as their son-in-law? Will they welcome him into their house? Will they welcome her into her house? Will they be able to understand my mum? Will she be able to understand them? Will they get along? You say, oh, well, isn't it just about the man and the woman agreeing and giving consent to one another get married? Yes, but hang on, you have a mum and dad. Didn't your mum carry you 9 months in her womb? Didn't your mum stay up and clean your nappies? Didn't your mum stay up nights when you were in fever, you were vomiting, you were sick? No one cared about you except your mum? Don't you think your mum deserves a bit more compassion, a bit more respect, a bit more attention when you each reach the age of 18? I'm now an adult. I can do whatever I want. I can live outside. I can work. I can study. Yes, but don't forget your mother. Rasulullah ﷺ says that Jannah lies at the feet of your mother. The man comes to you, he says, who's more deserving of me? Your mother. Then who? Your mother. Then who? Your mother. Then who? Your father. So ensure that you keep the word of your mother as the most superior word in your life. That's number 3, stakeholder, your parents. Number 4, your children. Your children are also stakeholders. See, what would they think of having her as their mother? Which children? The children to come, inshallah. What would they think of her as a mother? Would they say, oh, thank you, Baba, you chose such a beautiful mum. She brings us up so well. She gives us beautiful breakfast. She reminds us to do salah. She helps us with our Quran. She always makes us do good adab and akhlaq. Thank you so much, Baba. Thank you so much, Daddy. Are they going to say this? Or they say, May you be cursed, Dad. This lady, she doesn't remind us about salah. She doesn't remind us about speaking the truth. She couldn't care less. All she cares about doing her hair and having nice bags and nice clothes and going out shopping every single day, spending on your credit card. What's she going to say? Same applies for the men as well, so the women don't get upset. So number 4 is your children. And number 5 is your beautiful heart. Does your heart pump like it's going to jump out of its heart when you see her? You're still not married, no. But are you attracted to her? And to her, are you attracted to him? Do you dream about her? Do you dream about him? Do you think, I'd love to live my entire life with this person? Or can you not stand to look at that person? When you look at them, it's like you've seen a ghost. If this is the case, then stop, hesitate, think twice. You say, why? Say, because, man, you're going to be waking up every morning and you turn to your right or you turn to your left, who do you see in front of you? Same person. So if you can't look at them now and feel, at ease, then you're going to be looking at them for 60 years. And every day you're going to start, saying things that you're going to regret. So these are the 5 stakeholders. If these are all in check, then Bismillah, go ahead.